How's it going, everyone? The Trout91 here for a Halo Wars 2 commentary. Yes, that's right. If you knew anything about me back in the day, I loved a bit of Halo Wars 1. And obviously with the sequel coming out, it's been a long-awaited game for myself, and I'm so glad to finally have it and have some games at it. If any of you out there are Halo Wars fans and you like Halo Wars content, I'm sure I will get into posting it. So do let me know in the comments if you'd like to see some Halo Wars content in the near future, whether it's a series or anything like that. I am planning to do a 10 tips to succeed on Halo Wars 2. So if you are struggling on the game, you can get used to that. This is on Xbox One. It is not Windows 10 gameplay. I was tempted to kind of get it on the PC because obviously that's where you would find RTSs to be mainly played on. But I'm used to playing the Xbox version of this game, and I just wanted to get on the Xbox again. I thought I'd probably play with more friends in that respect. And I didn't play too many 1v1s in Halo Wars 1. I don't know, it's a combination of not really wanting to waste my time doing it. I had people to play with and a bit of fear at some of the big boys that I might come up against. So I had a few goes at 1v1s, and I think it's generally because the game's just come out, and you're going to find a lot of people who are buying it off the back of Halo, thinking it's a new Halo game, which is kind of what happened with the first one, and not realizing that it's an RTS rather than an actual Halo game. And a lot of people will jump into the multiplayer, not really playing the tutorial, having much of a clue as to how to play the game. So I might be, just because I've steamrolled a few people, that I have to wait to actually play a few more games, or wait till the game's been out for a little while to find some of the better opponents. But I played about 4 games tonight, and I smashed everyone. This is not even the quickest game. I think I managed to finish a game in 5 minutes 40 seconds. And I think my first game was the longest one. It just teetered over about 10 minutes, just because people aren't really prepared for what is going to come up against them. I played a lot of Captain Cutter in the first one because of the ODST spam was just super OP. The fact that you could just build them up and throw ODSTs into the thick of it. And I used to hate coming up against people who would rush me straight off the start or do some cheesy rush. I like to, you know, get into the game and actually build up an army before doing anything. But I think because in a 1v1 it's such a small map, and that's kind of what you're going to come up against. And when you know there's a weakness in the opponent, you might as well just take advantage of it. So they were pretty straightforward games. I wasn't even really contested in it. I basically built somewhat of an army and then just went straight for the jugular, because every time I would move my army out into the field, look around, take some of the objectives and the generators that you find on the map that are neutral places, and you'd see like a lone wolf kind of unit from the enemy lurking about, and you think, well, if that's what he's building, I'm probably going to be able to storm through him if he's just doing something like that. And he's probably sitting back, and I can actually take advantage of this, or at least get, you know, kind of an early scouting on what he might be going for. And everyone I played kind of went with Captain Cutter, I think because it's the easiest to kind of understand. It's someone you play in the tutorial at least. So you're going to find that a lot of people kind of build Marines. So I would go into these thinking, right, he's playing Captain Cutter. The likelihood is he's going to build infantry, which is obviously Captain Cutter's specialty, but they're very easy to counter. So I thought, instead of... So my game plan was, I'll build a few Marines, because in this game, unlike the first one, you could actually build Marines regardless of whether you've got a barracks or not, to actually help defend your base a little bit easier and do more with your defensive positioning and hold out, you know, rushes rather than go all out with them. So I was like, I'll build a few Marines, get an early advantage going, build some anti-infantry, which are the Hellraisers rather than the flamethrower guys in this game. They're called Hellraisers. So I would build a few of them, go out, look for some generators, start building up, you know, get my grenade upgrade on my Marines, and then look to hit them quite early on, because half the time they barely built any actual units. They were too busy upgrading their bases, or they were thinking, oh, there's neutral bases around that I could just buy, and they go and buy an extra base without really building up an army. So it became very, very easy for me to kind of get in there and destroy them before they could actually do something about it. So my basic build for this one was just get some supplies in, get the generator going, build up some small units, go and take some of the neutral generators, and then I'd start to, as you see on this map, take a mini base and then start flooding in as many units as I possibly can. And it helped that I had the Hellraisers, but I think in general I just had a much faster and better build than he did. He was too busy working on... It was kind of the story for all the games I played, where people were just too busy building the actual bases and their army for the long game rather than trying to defend against a short game, which again I don't really like doing it that much, but I was just kind of trying to get used to how this game works and working on the build, getting back into the flow of how you would play Halo Wars, because I did play it a lot back in the day. As far as this game goes, if you're wondering whether you should buy it or not, it is a very good RTS game, one that I think is kind of underappreciated by a lot of people. I think when the first one came out, it was seen as like a knockoff almost. It was like basically just a way to get more Halo's games out there rather than actually have a proper RTS game. And I think most people bought it expecting a Halo experience and got something very different. And I think that was kind of my feeling at the start when I first got this game, but I really did get into it after playing it. And it's one of the few RTSs I actually really like playing. Not really an RTS fan. There's some games where, you know, I'm not big fans of the actual genre of the game, but there are certain versions of it that actually really get me into it, and this is one that really does get me into it. All I have to say is very much like the first one. There are a few minor changes coming to it, but it operates pretty much in the same way as you did. I think just the way that you build things and how you power stuff up is slightly different. Some of the abilities and things like that are slightly different, so it can get... it looks... You will be familiar if you've played the first one, but there are enough changes that keep it fresh. It's still a really fun game. I'm enjoying it for the few games that I played, and I'd love to get some content out there. Maybe I'll do some live streams. So if you're looking to buy this, you like the first one, or you're just interested in an RTS game based off the Halo Wars, well, based off the Halo universe that might make it a bit more user-friendly for someone who's getting into this type of genre, definitely give it a go. Really fun game, and I've loved playing it, and I hope to see more content on this channel for this game. I'll see you very soon. Peace out.